Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a bit since my last video, and I wanted to share the latest. I finally grinded out the Fox 3 missiles for most of my lineup here, and since they've had some updates to the game with respect to how the radar and everything works, I wanted to show how I've been able to play the game with that. So if you haven't already looked at some of the other videos on key bindings for radar setup, you can look into that. I'm using the pulse Doppler mode here. It's helmet mounted. It's basically like the ACM mode. So I know previously I showed the TWS mode, but it ended up being rather difficult to lock on to targets from far away. I know that with these Fox 3 missiles that are not AIM 120s, you need to be a lot closer than you normally would play to be ready. So here we have a few people here. I'm using my basically like ACM mode here. I'm gonna go ahead and evade here. We got that one. Get out of the way of that. He's doing a really good job here. There we go. I launch whatever I have at him now. Should get him. Yeah, not gonna be able to loop that. So as you can see here, ACM pulse Doppler or helmet mounted pulse Doppler, it's so much easier to pick up your targets. You're close enough that your missiles should connect as long as you have a reasonable trajectory for your missile to reach your targets. TWS, for me in the previous videos, it just seemed like every time I was trying to lock somebody on, it would lock onto their missile or their chaff, and then by the time my missile actually gets into that area, they're already out of the way, or they've notched far enough that it doesn't actually do anything. So this has been pretty effective, and it's a lot easier to play. It is a lot of point and click, so you lock on, get your missile warmed up, and then fire. Pretty good job of evading here that he's doing. I'm gonna go ahead and try. There we go, got him. PL8s are really good at flare resistance from the rear aspect when you're close enough. So keep that in mind depending on how you want to set your loadout for different situations. Most of their team is already dead now, so I don't know what else we're going to be able to do here, but I'd say ended up being a pretty quick match, pretty enjoyable. One thing you want to keep in mind is utilizing the terrain. I've said it many times in other videos. With some of these missiles, people are going to fire them from their spawn, and they're going to count on the fact that you're just going to, make a straight line and not really move out of the way, or they're going to climb up high and try to just launch down on you. And you want to be ready for that. And he's dead. Should be dead. It's a critical hit. Let's see. Wasn't checking my 6. I don't know who got me. F20 maybe. Yeah, an AIM-9L from, I don't know which direction he got me from, but I should have been more aware. So I'm going to go ahead and show this just because the Chinese Sukhois are interesting. Same thing, ACM pulse Doppler. There is an HMD pulse Doppler which I should get into, but there it is, switched over to that. The angle of attack limiter off mode basically allows you to try to pull cobras or whatever. In certain dogfight scenarios, I mean, you're gonna dump all your speed, but you'll be able to pull crazy angle of attack on a target. He's dead. So I can demonstrate it here. I'm sure you've seen it in other videos, but let's say, for example, you're being tailed by somebody and they're about to launch on you, and you want to, try to turn around. I've set my angle of attack button to be easily accessible, so it's my control key. And here, see, maneuver mode is off, AOA limits are on. If I press it again, it's off, and that really allows me to turn all the way around like that. And we're stalling out now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on so that I can get some speed back. But I've had a couple of dogfights recently where I was against a MiG-29 and he was trying to utilize that against me. I tried to avoid using it too much because I ended up dumping a lot of speed and it took a while to regain control. You don't want to be in a situation where you just fall out of the sky or into a flat spin or anything. The MiG-29 ended up using it way too much to where they bled all their energy. I just maintained my circle of turning and I was able to get my nose on the target once I had enough speed. I'm not sure where that Su-33 is. There he is. Okay, so let's see here. He may try to use that. Okay, I'm gonna go horizontal here. And let's go ahead and use it now. So we're going to turn it on. There we go. And we're going to fire our missile. Yeah, we were able to get our missile to finally turn around, but someone else ended up getting the kill. It would have been cool to pull a shot. I've pulled a couple of shots like that, and it's pretty fun. But I also ended up stalling out right near their anti-air defense, so I took some damage. But still interesting. Just use cases where you could do that, but keep in mind if there's still a lot of the enemy team up in the air, you're gonna probably eat a missile. So we're able to get the cannon upgrade, so go ahead and purchase that and continue researching this tree. And I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can get into the next match. Hopefully it should be pretty quick. I'll pause it for now. Okay, and we're back into the next match here. Let's see who we're up against. A little bit bigger, same player against us from last time. And let's go ahead and do the same thing again. Helmet mounted system. You can set your pre-radar mode when you get into the game. There's a drop-down menu on the loadout screen that you can choose. Definitely choose it for a mode that you want to use right away, because you're not going to have time to fumble through all of the different modes that are available. And like I said, 16 kilometers is probably the distance that you're going to be maxing out your missiles at. I'd say 10 is reasonable. Anything further and they're probably going to be able to evade. And he ended up getting a shot off onto me in the process. Plus another Su-33 got me, but that's fine. I mean, it's unrealistic to expect a top tier game with Fox 3s to be completely without getting killed. I'll launch. I mean, if he dives down, he can probably get behind the mountain, but let's see. My missile is too slow. Her teammate got him. Okay, let's see. F-16C and both of the Su-27s and the J-11 are all going to be pretty big threats here. I'm going to get down here and keep the mountain in my field of view. I see a J-11 there. Okay, we got two of them. 3 of them. And like I said, it's been working pretty good with the quick lock with the ACM mode. It's just a lot easier to pick up targets with the radars. And now you see I'm going low here because those missiles are not going to be able to navigate all of these valleys that are in the way. So unless they're really high up and launching down on us, even then if we're curving around the terrain, we should be able to evade the missiles. So just a little bit more till we get our reload, and I'm going to go ahead and get back further over here just so that I have some more things blocking their radar from seeing me. Something's launching on me, I think, so I'm going to get behind terrain over here. I saw it, almost hit those trees. And let's turn back this way, and I'm going to get back down here. Ooh, that was close. Something buzzed me. And that MiG, not MiG, F-15 is dead. Nobody really left alive. I wasted 2 of those missiles, but it's fine. Okay, still an Su-34 alive. Okay, so now they're using the terrain like they're supposed to be doing. Still tracking this F-16. What wrong position to fire off of, because he's using the terrain like he's supposed to. I'll go for the Yak-141 and then try to get him here with just maneuvering if I can. Yak-141 is dead. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way here because probably firing on me. If I tunnel in on that target right by their spawn, someone will probably get me with the missile. And you saw I got a missile evade, so that worked out. Still keeping an eye on where they're spotted by our team so that I can be positioned for when they head to this side. There's the F-16 over there, but you have a lot of teammates on them, so probably by the time we get in that area, they're probably going to get cleaned up. But we just got our missiles back, so let's go ahead and get ready to lock on and fire here. And I think we're a little slow there, but let's see if we get them. Got him. Okay, that works. Pretty good. I mean, they're pretty much done now. There's nobody left except a couple here. And that fuel load that we took was adequate without being too heavy for maneuverability. Now we're getting a little lower on the load, so it should give us even better maneuverability. 5 seconds, and see what we can do here. Lost my target tracking there. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that works. And there's nobody left. And that basically ends out the second game. I hope that was anyway beneficial for you for watching. If you need to revisit the controls scheme, I have some videos up for that, but the most effective way lately for top tier playing TWS is just a real pain, and trying to control the radar for the sweep and the vertical and the I guess the moving it up and down is just too much to manage while you're trying to evade, especially in arcade. Maybe for real battles it makes sense, but it's the easiest way. So until next time, thanks for watching. I will try to show more of the J11B once I've unlocked it, and then I'll try to work on the Russian tree once I have some time. I just haven't made any progress at it for now, but thank you. Until next time.